Take us through what America looks like today and what the border looks like today if Kamala Harris wins last November.
Oh, thank God that didn't happen. Or we'd have unprecedented numbers still coming across. Look, there was days of over 13,000 in a day coming across the southern border. I looked at the number this morning. I think the total entry operations this morning was like 131. Went from 13,000 to 131. And as you said earlier, not a single one was released into the United States.
I think personally you've done a remarkable job. I know a lot of people watching right now think you've done a remarkable job. But there are millions of Americans out there who do not support the deportations. How do you message what ICE is doing more effectively to the American people over the next 300 days leading up to the midterm elections?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to take credit for the secure border. I give the credit to President Trump and his out-of-the-box thinking with his executive orders he issued on day one, and to the men and women of the border too, who stand that line every day and actually are upholding the oath they took and actually enforcing the law rather than being taxi cab drivers taking illegal aliens at the airport to send them off to the final destination. I also give ICE a lot of credit because to get to your question now, because of what ICE is doing out there every day, they send a message to the entire world. Don't spend your life savings to get it to the criminal cartel to get to the border because you're not going to be released. So that means less aliens are dying, cartels are losing billions of dollars. So ICE has a lot to do why we have the most secure border in history of this nation. But what people need to understand, if you look at the numbers, a vast majority of everybody ICE arresting is a public safety threat. It's just a stone cold fact. And for the ones that aren't, many of them are national security threats who don't have criminal histories because their whole goal is to lay low until they do the dirty deed. And a lot of them are fugitives. They had due process at great taxpayer expense. They were ordered removed by a federal judge and didn't leave. They became a fugitive. We're removing them too. And we're arresting others that are in the country illegally because we can't send a message. Here's a message we can't send. Cross the border legally. It's okay. It's a crime. Don't worry about it. Go to court or don't go to court and get an order removed. You don't have to leave. Don't worry about it. Unless you are convicted of a serious crime, you're safe here forever. Good to go. That's not the message we're going to send because sending that message is just going to create an open border again. More people can come to the border. More people put themselves in harm's way. We're going to enforce laws in this country. We're not going to apologize for it. I want people to understand this main point. This main point is important. Why are you arresting this person? Been here 10 years. They don't have a criminal history. They got a U.S. citizen child. Remember, these people, these 10.5 million people came across during Biden. They're cheated. They cheated the system. They put themselves in front of the line ahead of millions of people who are taking their tests, doing their background investigations, paying the fees to be part of the greatest nation on earth. These people are asylum seeker frauds, and they cheated the system.
So I think what's happened largely over the last 300 days is the illegal aliens have gotten the message that the border is closed. And illegal aliens in this country, particularly the criminals, know that they face deportation if they are apprehended by ICE. OK, that should not be a problem. These are people that committed a federal crime the second they crossed the border illegally. This week, ICE carried out an operation called Operation Dirtbag. 230 criminal illegal aliens, including 150 sexual predators, were arrested in Florida. Their crimes, and I'm just going to list a few: sexual assault of minors, rape of minors, child exploitation, battery, attempted homicide. Why do you think there are so many people out there right now who still oppose deporting people like this? Is there a messaging problem? Is there, maybe, I don't know what it is, but if the message is not reaching the other half of the country, and I know you go on all the networks, why are the American people not behind? I'm not going to say all the American people, but there are definitely many out there who are not supportive of ICE right now. Why do you think that is?
Because listening to the fake media. The fake media says we're arresting, we're separating families. Most of the people we arrest aren't criminals. Most of the people we detain aren't criminals. And you got members of Congress, senators, and Congress people, mayors and governors comparing ICE to the Nazis and to racists and to the Gestapo, and that turns the tide against what ICE is doing. But I want people to go to ice.gov, go to cbp.gov, and look exactly what we're doing, look at the numbers to show to the American people what we're doing. So I blame a lot of this on the hateful rhetoric that's coming through a lot of the media and members of Congress who don't support President Trump. They want President Trump to fail. Okay. Every day we're out there doing these great operations, it shows Trump being successful. And it also pulls a curtain back on the unlawful practices of the Biden administration, and they don't like that. So they're going to push against Trump every step of the way.